Coach Mo, what was your message to the guys after this one?
It's always appreciation for, as I've said, the way they come in every day. Like I've not been around too many groups that have just jumped right in there and said, I'll do it, every day with everything that they have, from a basketball athletic perspective, dealt with this year. I just wanted to share that with them, and then I told them, in my opinion, we have dug the trenches for the foundation. This summer we got to pour the cement and see whose fingerprints are going to be in it, and that's something that we're intentional about going forward. What Troy and his team have been able to do as far as getting the books set up, the young players that we have that we know we can go forward with, and then opportunities this summer. But it's going to take a lot of work, and I expressed that to them, the amount of work that's in front of us for the next step. The next step in sports is always a great step, and then when you get there, it's a bigger step. It's just how it is. And you just don't go from where we are to where we want to be by just showing up. We got to be intentional. So I shared that with them, and then didn't want to turn it into a Gettysburg Address. We'll talk more over the next few weeks with the guys. Want to give them some time to talk to Troy tomorrow, and I'll share some thoughts with them as we go forward.
To piggyback off of that, what do you like about this team?
Just that, what I talk. I mean, the grit of our guys. If you were around us all year long, you would have seen how many different guys we had on the floor, and J.I., Cade, J.D., the guys that have been there from the jump, Sass, and then to finish with those guys. We've had so many guys, just injuries and trades and all kinds of stuff fall by the wayside or go to other teams. But those guys just hung in there. And the huddles that we had down on the road last game of the year, if you saw the huddle, you would have thought it was a fourth quarter tight game in the playoffs. That's who they've been all year. And you can work with that. That's an intentional level of character and integrity that I think will allow for you to get better and overcome the obstacles that every professional team faces.
You mentioned, I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, from a personal standpoint, I know how close you are with the guys.
Yeah.
And when you played so many different guys like you have this year, and then understanding that the personnel could change with respect to a lot of the players, how have you, over your years as being a coach, kind of handled that part of, I love this group of guys, but we might have to have some different guys in order to move?
It's a tough deal for me because I can only give my heart to the guys you have. If you get new players, then you bring them in the fold. But until then, it's like anything else. It's like a marriage. You give your heart to that. Any good relationship requires your heart. And you're vulnerable there, and you can get hurt. But there's also great rewards on the other side of what could be hurt. That's why we do it. That's why we all stay up late at night and cry when things don't go well. That's why fans are passionate, because their heart is in it. And I can't give my heart to anything that we don't have. I can only give my heart to the ones I'm with every day. And then if we get some other players, then you you welcome them in. And some of those guys may have been enemies before, but then when they put on the Pistons uniform, they have my heart. But until then, I just lock in on the guys we have. And I thank them for that, because I know that I coach our guys hard. It's my responsibility to call them up. And when I do that, I'm essentially giving them my heart so that they can understand how much I want it for them and for the organization.
How do you, in a tough season like this, I guess, on the right note, I know you mentioned pregame, you're not like an exit interview type person. Is it just a locker room speech, or is there a next step with the players just to make sure you're kind of aligned?
I'm not talking tomorrow, but I'll probably talk to them in a couple of weeks. It's hard for me to just turn the page and have a lucid thought about the season without getting too emotional about how I feel right now. And so I've always felt like I did it one time in New Orleans, and I felt like I cheated the guys. Now, other coaches can do it well. I just can't. I want to be able to look at the numbers talk to the coaches over the next few weeks, talk to Troy. I'll spend some time with Mr. Gores, and then I'll be able to go back to the guys and have a good thought. I'm not somebody that talks just to be talking. That's just not my thing. So I'm going to make sure I have something substantial to say when I do sit down with guys.
That's the right disposition, I guess, players leave the season with. You want to see like anger in how they approach their outside.
What do you think? What do you like?
I don't know.
Anybody would be upset about the way this year has gone, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes anger can force you to get to your next step. I'm sure it's anger, it's passion, it's intentionality. You want to get back in the gym as soon as you can, but you also realize you need rest. But I'm sure there's a lot of passion that goes with any kind of season resembling this. Our guys they know they're better, they know we're going to get better, and I hope that passion drives them.
You're not the first team to go through a season like this, and you won't be the last. What have you found the biggest challenge? These guys all want to win, obviously.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge to keep that mindset of?
Well, I think all of us are built that way. Like, we wouldn't have the guys in the locker room if we didn't feel like they were built that way. So I think that's the first thing that we have in our favor. I was here in San Antonio when they were 20-62, so I know what that felt like. I know what those locker rooms look like, but I also know what you can do going forward by making really good decisions and also guys on your team getting better and just being healthy. That team went through the same deal. We had Dave and Sean and a bunch of guys out that year, and a bunch of us young guys got to play. We were young. We didn't win a lot, but that allowed for us to get more experience on the floor. And then when those guys got healthy and we added some other guys, one by the name of Tim Duncan, everything changed. There's no more Tim Duncans around, but you get the point. Like, I've been in these situations before. It takes a lot of hard work to get to the next level, a lot of character, and I believe we can do it, and we have it. All right, thank you.